Have you ever sat down to get something important done, like reading a book, studying, or even just writing an email? And 5 minutes later, you're checking your phone, scrolling through cat videos, or wondering what's in the fridge, even though you're not even hungry? Yeah, been there. And if that sounds like your brain on a typical Tuesday afternoon, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your focus isn't broken. You're not lazy. You're not doomed to wander through life distracted and frustrated. You're probably just missing one tiny habit that changes everything. We've all been told that the secret to better focus is to just try harder, right? Like if we could just summon enough willpower or use a fancy new app, our brains would magically behave. But here's the truth that nobody talks about. Focus isn't about trying harder. It's about training smarter. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Before we dive in, here's the roadmap for what we're going to uncover together in this video. There's one simple habit, ridiculously simple honestly, that acts like a mental anchor. It recenters your attention, boosts your brain power, and makes distractions way less tempting. We'll explore why your focus slips in the first place, the habit that fixes it, and how you can start applying it today in less than 5 minutes. Yep, 5 minutes. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you gave your brain permission to do one thing at a time? I mean, really focused on just one thing, without checking your phone, flipping tabs, or half listening to a podcast in the background. It's rare, right? But here's the crazy part. The human brain is actually designed to thrive when it's focused on a single task. Multitasking? That's a myth. It's not making us smarter. It's actually making us slower, more anxious, and way less creative. Here's a quick example. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably do it without much effort, right? That's because it's a habit. It's automatic. You don't waste brain power deciding if you feel like doing it. You just do it. What if focus worked the same way? What if you had a daily habit that told your brain, hey, it's time to dial in, let's go? That's exactly what we're talking about today. The first step, it's not about deleting all your apps or throwing your phone in the ocean. It's much simpler than that. It starts with creating a tiny ritual, just a small moment of intention before you begin anything important. It could be as simple as closing your eyes for 10 seconds, taking a breath, and saying to yourself, for the next 20 minutes, this is the only thing I'm doing. That's it. No tricks, no guilt, just one clear intention. Most people skip this because it feels too easy to matter, but that's exactly why it works. When your brain hears the same cue every day, it starts to recognize, oh, this is focus time. It becomes less about forcing yourself to concentrate and more about slipping into the mindset that allows focus to happen naturally, like muscle memory for your attention. And that brings us to the real shift, how this habit can become your mental on switch, and why the way you start your day, or even just your next task, can completely change how you finish it. So now that you've got that tiny ritual, your mental on switch, you might be wondering, how does something that small really change anything? Honestly, it's a fair question. We're so used to believing that big results only come from big effort. But when it comes to focus, it's not about how hard you try, it's about consistency, rhythm, and what your brain expects. Let's talk about something you've probably heard of before. Context switching. It's what happens every time you jump from one task to another, like checking your phone mid-email or answering a text while trying to study. Each time, your brain doesn't just pause one activity and resume another. It actually has to recalibrate, reorient, and reload all the mental tabs you closed. That mental tab switching burns energy, drains your willpower, and leaves you feeling scattered even if you haven't done that much. This is where your new habit becomes powerful. That short, simple moment of intention creates what psychologists call a cognitive boundary. It tells your brain, we're doing this now. And because you've done it before, your brain starts to associate that cue with deeper attention, fewer interruptions, and more satisfaction from actually finishing what you start. And let me be real with you, this isn't magic. You're still going to feel the pull to check your phone. You're still going to get bored or distracted. But here's the shift. When you've trained your brain to recognize a beginning, it becomes way easier to stick with it long enough to get through that first wave of discomfort. That's where most people give up, right before a focus kicks in. Here's a quick tip you can try today. Pick one task you've been avoiding. Something small like reading a chapter, writing a paragraph, or even cleaning your desk. Before you start, close your eyes, take a breath, and tell yourself out loud, "This is the only thing I'm doing for the next 20 minutes." Then set a timer. No pressure to finish. Just stick with it for the full 20 minutes. When the timer goes off, you can stop or keep going if you're in the zone. You'd be surprised how often your brain actually wants to keep going once it gets started. That's the power of momentum. And it all begins with that one habit: the pause, the breath, the clear statement of intention. Now, here's something a lot of people miss. Focus isn't about being productive all the time. It's about creating short bursts of real, meaningful attention, followed by actual breaks. Not fake breaks where you scroll endlessly, but true recovery. Stepping away, moving your body, or letting your mind wander without stimulation. That's how your brain resets and recharges for the next round of deep work. So if you've ever wondered why you can binge watch 4 episodes of a show without getting distracted, but struggle to finish 1 page of a book, it's not because you're broken. It's because shows are designed with clear cues: intro, story, climax, credits. Your brain knows what to expect. The habit you're building is about bringing that same clarity to your own tasks. You're designing a story that your brain can follow: beginning, middle, end. And once you start doing that regularly, everything changes. Tasks stop feeling overwhelming. You start to trust yourself more. And you'll be amazed how much you can get done in short, focused bursts when you're not constantly battling distractions. All right, so now you've got this tiny but powerful habit, the intentional pause that signals your brain to shift gears into focus mode. You know, it's not about grinding harder or hustling longer. It's about giving your brain structure, cues, and space to do what it's naturally built to do. So what's next? This is where it all comes together. Because forming this habit isn't just about improving your productivity, it's about reclaiming something most of us didn't even realize we were missing: a sense of control. When your focus is scattered all day long, it's easy to feel defeated. You end the day wondering, what did I even do today? And that's not just annoying, it chips away at your confidence. But when you start using this habit daily, even in short doses, you finish tasks, you feel clearer, and most importantly, you start to feel proud of how you're spending your time. That pride, that's fuel. It builds momentum. It makes it easier to show up again tomorrow. And let's get something straight. It's totally normal to slip up. You're going to forget. You're going to get distracted sometimes. That's okay. Building focus isn't about being perfect. It's about gently noticing when your attention has drifted and then choosing without judgment to return. That's the real habit. That's the magic. And here's the beautiful part. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Over time, you'll find it easier to enter a state of deep focus. You'll start looking forward to those focus sessions because they'll feel less like a struggle and more like a flow. You'll also start protecting them more fiercely because you'll know how good it feels to really be in the zone. So let's do a quick recap, not to repeat, but to reinforce. Your focus isn't broken. You don't need a total digital detox, a silent retreat, or a stack of productivity books. What you need is one tiny habit, a simple, consistent cue that tells your brain, this is focus time. It's about training, not trying. And once you build that rhythm, it becomes second nature. Whether you're a student, a creator, someone trying to learn a new skill, or just someone who's tired of feeling scattered all the time, this works. Not because it's flashy, but because it honors how your brain actually works. Small wins, clear intentions, gentle repetition. And hey, if you try this today, I'd love to know how it goes for you. Drop a comment below and tell me what task you're going to try it with. Was it writing, studying, planning, or something totally random like organizing your digital files? Hey, no judgment. We all have that messy desktop folder, right? If this video helped you, go ahead and hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that content like this matters. And if you want more videos that help you get smarter, stay motivated, and actually enjoy the process of learning, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Remember this, you're not lazy, unfocused, or broken. You just haven't trained your attention yet, but that's changing. You're already doing the work just by being here. Be proud of that. You've got this.